All right, how you doing? I'm just sitting out here. I just left Dollar General. I never really go to that store too often. Yeah, my father used to be a manager working there not too long ago. Excuse me. Right now, I'm listening to YouTube music. I promised a pretty nurse that I was gonna make some YouTube videos. So right now, currently, I'm listening to "Standing in the Shadows of Love" by the Jackson 5. And it's like, the funniest thing that I like about this song here is it's like it was one of the first songs, after Marvin Gaye, is when stereo was first put into music. And so when you listen to it, it's like people would get excited, like, you hear the Tito? Yeah, who is that? Well, that's the Jackson 5, the new young brothers. You don't hear the Tito? You don't hear the Tito? You don't hear the Tito? On here you go. All right, yeah. Oh, something's gonna bother you. But, I'm not supposed to be out here, not making noise too much. Yeah, the Tito, I hear the Tito. Is it coming from the left or the right? If you understand how stereo actually works, for that to be a hot commodity in 1969, So I just thought that I had a few funny jokes, but not really funny jokes. Right now I'm having it's late at night, but I'm having me a nice little Starbucks here, having me a good little moment. They have some good flavors there. Just makes me think about some good nam-naddles and nam-naddle. I know a couple pretty ladies that remind me like the Starbucks lady. Like, this is one lady who I just recently told her I was going to do a new song, and I was going to entitle it Cuties on Duty. So, stay tuned for that here pretty soon. Now, let's see what next song I had queued up for this next song to talk to you about. Let's see if I can leave. Oh, now, which reminds me, if you check out the song, the album Love Struck, actually this next song that I'm listening to is Bruno Mars. This is the white coat that shall fight for that white gold. What's it called? Uptown Funk, And if you listen to it, like in the Locked Out of Heaven, it said, I never wanted to put my heart on the line. So then I said I put my heart on the line when I put the Love Struck album. But the Love Struck album is actually 36 minutes and some odd minutes long because the song Dr. Strangelove is actually first because it reminded me to say I was thinking about coming in and walking down the street that when it reminded me for the Isha prayer. And then I said, yes, babe. So I stopped real quick to do a little prayer. Even though being raised or being born Jew, because my uncle's name is David Desbin, and he's a German Jew. And, he's looks Caucasian as ever, but actually a Caucasian man because, from the Caucasian German family. But then my grandmother Joanne being a Jew. But I said I never wanted to put my heart on the line. But then I got to remember that it's coming from the East, and then the G3 red shirts, and everything that happened, and with the war, and the G3 red shirts, and all that, and putting my heart on the line. And because me and Bruno had another conversation going on prior before, because I said I actually like that little motherfucker. That little motherfucker got some. He can actually go, But I don't want Bruno to get mad at me. But You know, like, man, I told him, like, hey, why don't you holler at me? Oh, yeah. I came up with the idea of him getting on with that young brother with the internet and him getting together and then them making that, and them doing the album with him and, what's his name? Anderson .Paak, and which reminds me, there was a bad little lady out in California, Gardenia, California, a Filipino. She is bad, brother. She used to have these wear this naked nail polish, and the way she would wear the subtle colors remind me of this social worker when I said, those are nice nails. You know, that's how she used to do her nails. Not long, just when she would get her nails pedicured or in her painted, there's just regular nail length, but then the way that they were, that their pedicure is so fucking pretty and done so perfect. It's just like, it makes you just, it gives you just like a more than regular, because you're like, that's regular. That's more than regular, baby. And it makes you think, that's that kick your ass on home with that good natter, baby. Like, you think it's regular and you think it's goof, but boy, you get your ass goof troop the fuck on, baby. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's it. You hate saying it like that. But she should wear them like the naked type, man. Don't do the, bro, we gonna wear what we got for you. I'm like, come on, yo. And now y'all done heard me say some other stuff, or maybe y'all haven't. But then maybe it's like, y'all really don't know where he coming from. And so you gotta catch the Stevie album. And so, while y'all was in the freaking 2000s, in the 90s, like, man, and when they was listening to what's current, I says, I'm still stuck on Roger Troutman talking to me about some shit. And me and Mrs. Troutman being good friends, and me eventually becoming, Michael Jackson's friend. If you check me out, official Solomon Paschal-Desbin on Instagram. Now, me and Michael was good friends. Now, let me tell you about this. When I was young, I finally learned how to read and write, and the first thing I started to do was write Michael Jackson, and Michael Jackson wrote me back. Not like hate mail where y'all doing mental this. And immediately, that was after his Dangerous, and then right before Dangerous hit. And if you look on the Dangerous short film, we put Paschal on the Dangerous short films, or one of the album covers, or one of the videos, something had that. So I've always had demos sent to him and conversation, and even up into the Navy. I'm not a name dropper, but, that's really what happened in the war. And I remember coming home from the Middle East. I called my dad out the Middle East and he said, what happened? I said, I got to tell you the story real quick. I said, Dad, I can't tell you real quick. It's about Michael Jackson, a lot of money, music, and some people said some stuff, and some other people did some other stuff, but it had nothing to do with me, Dad. But I took a righteous stand on that and said, no, I shall not. And it made people to the point where they don't like that anymore. They didn't, I took a righteous stand to say no at the time of the war, even though I was there. But then, like, before going into the war, which I'm going to get back to this Love Struck story, I said, that's what, when the war hit, I said, Damascus, Syria, Damascus, that's where Jesus walked. So when you get there, it can all become overwhelming. If you understand the Paschal-Desbin and the Yaakov stuff, where I'm coming from, so it could become overwhelming. And then to be friends with Michael Jackson, having a conversation with Michael. Oh, and then currently this is Young Girls about Bruno Mars. And it became overwhelming, but it wasn't. But then being friends with him and then him, like when he was doing the 2001 reunion, I wasn't so like, man, I ain't too much into it, man. Come on, Michael, I'm really not in the mood. I got a lot of stuff going on here at home. He's working on a new album, which I already knew about. By this point, he was on his downscale, so I was more hyper for his album, but not hype. And I wasn't a big fan of it, as everyone, because it didn't do so well, so I was more or less on it didn't do well versus the message that he was trying to say to me, because we were in conversation prior before that, because, he was listening to every word I was saying, more than what my parents were, and he put in the album, and he reiterated what my coaches were saying back to me. And he was talking about my family and sports the whole time. And so by the time when we got there in San Diego, I remember a young man, he was out in Minneapolis. No one wanted to go see my concerts because they weren't too hype with the whole 50 Cent thing, and they weren't too hype with everybody out there. But they wear the stuff and the shoes, but not too much. And I remember getting a whole bunch of free G-Unit clothing and all that. This is Moonshine. I did a copy of that on one of his songs in 2012. Moonshine, Apple Pie Moonshine, my favorite, baby. And I had a good conversation with Michael, and to get out there. And I remember being out there with a young man from Minneapolis, and he came to my concert, and opening up for a G-Unit now. And he was like, and I told him, yeah, somebody, he's like, just as you said, is that Michael? That's Michael Jackson, man. That's Michael Jackson. That's Michael Jackson at my concert, man. That's Michael Jackson. Because Michael slipped out for enough to see me live, even though he was busy with what he had going on. Because Michael was calling me. At this point, he had already dubbed it like, you are acting. If you listen to the music, I'm not pretending. When I'm being me, it sounds like him. That's why it's hard for me to do like Drake or duplicate other people singing, or even like pretend to be Michael. But when I sound myself, and I just said that I just did that the same as Bruno. We said myself at the same time. Michael was very hype about finally living his dream. That sounds strange, no? So Love Struck is actually 9 songs because, the doctor, the creator, the mad scientist that we know, that we call God. It's 9 songs, ladies and gentlemen. Because the mad scientist's name in Islam, there's over 100 names for God. I don't like calling him that. I like calling him Yah. I like calling him Adonai, Jehovah. But really, it's so magnanimous. I get mad at individuals because you take those words right out of my mouth, because I don't like calling him God sometimes. But Almighty, everything that is, everything that could be. And when you look at this almost full moon out tonight, it makes you think that I am too horny not to be horny tonight, baby. So I hope y'all like the new music that I got that's out there. I hope y'all listen to it and stream it in mass amounts, and y'all have fun with it and do some amazing stuff with it, because I do love you. I always do. It's just, I get frustrated because Shooby do that, hey, baby. I love y'all, I really do. And I hope y'all actually vibe with the music and have some great times with it. I hope to make some substantial finances from that. Thank you. I'll see you soon in the strings, baby. Later.